In a rare and striking display of unity, all 9 Supreme Court justices have just delivered a powerful, unanimous 9-0 decision. Such consensus is uncommon at the nation's highest court, and it signals the extraordinary importance of the issue at hand. With this decision, the justices sent a clear and unmistakable message. Government officials, regardless of their position or beliefs, cannot use their power to silence voices they dislike or disagree with. The ruling draws a bright line, reminding those in authority that the Constitution protects even the most controversial or unpopular speech. This landmark ruling marks a major moment for American rights, reinforcing the fundamental freedom to speak one's mind without fear of government punishment or retaliation. The First Amendment, enshrined in the Constitution, stands as a shield for all Americans, ensuring that the marketplace of ideas remains open and vibrant. The decision comes at a time when many Americans are increasingly worried about government overreach, censorship, and the chilling effect these can have on public debate. In an era of heated political discourse and social media scrutiny, the court's ruling offers reassurance that constitutional protections remain strong. The court set a firm and unmistakable boundary. Even indirect pressure or subtle threats from officials to suppress speech is unconstitutional. It's not just about overt censorship. Any attempt by those in power to intimidate or coerce individuals or organizations into silence is a violation of core American principles. This case isn't just about one group or one incident. It's about the fundamental relationship between government and the people. It's a reminder that the government serves the public, not the other way around, and that every citizen's voice matters in a democracy. At the heart of the story is a financial regulator who allegedly used her authority to financially cripple an organization she personally opposed. By leveraging her official position, she sought to pressure banks and other institutions to cut ties with the group, effectively threatening its survival. The Supreme Court stepped in, declaring that this kind of government action crosses a clear constitutional line. The justices made it clear that personal or political disagreements cannot justify the use of government power to punish or silence. The unanimous decision demonstrates that protecting free speech from government coercion is a core American value, transcending political parties and ideologies. It's not a partisan issue, but a foundational principle that unites the country. This unity among the justices provides a strong legal shield for anyone who might face similar pressure in the future. It sends a message to officials everywhere. The courts will defend the rights of individuals and organizations to speak freely, even when their views are unpopular. The ruling affects the news you watch, the opinions you can express online or in public, and the ability of organizations, large and small, to operate without fear of government interference. It safeguards the open exchange of ideas that is essential to a healthy democracy. It's a powerful reminder that the First Amendment protects all speech, not just what's popular, comfortable, or government-approved. The right to speak freely belongs to everyone, regardless of their viewpoint or cause. This is a story about the defense of liberty, a moment when the Supreme Court stood together to protect the freedoms that define America. The impact of this decision will echo across the nation, shaping the future of free speech for generations to come. Government attempts to influence private speech are nothing new. Throughout history, officials have tried to suppress dissenting viewpoints, sometimes through subtle intimidation. During crises, pressure on journalists and citizens to conform has sparked fierce debate about the First Amendment's limits. The Supreme Court has long played a key role in defining the line between permissible government speech and unconstitutional coercion. In 1963, Bantam Books v. Sullivan established that even threats and intimidation, not just direct bans, can violate free speech. The court's recent decision builds on this tradition, clarifying the difference between expressing an opinion and abusing power. With social media, officials now have more ways to pressure private actors, making this issue more urgent than ever. The Supreme Court's involvement signals that modern threats to free speech are being taken seriously. Foundational First Amendment principles must apply, no matter the technology or political climate. The case at the heart of this Supreme Court ruling is National Rifle Association of America versus Vullo, a legal battle that has drawn national attention for its implications on free speech and government authority. After the tragic Parkland school shooting in 2018, New York's top financial regulator, Maria Vullo, allegedly pressured banks and insurance companies to distance themselves from the NRA. Vullo, then head of the Department of Financial Services, sent guidance letters to financial institutions, warning them of potential risks to their reputations if they continued doing business with the NRA, especially as public outrage over gun violence grew. The NRA argued that this was not just a suggestion, but a coordinated campaign by the state to punish them for their pro-gun advocacy, a direct violation of their First Amendment rights to free speech and association. They claimed the government was using its power to silence a political opponent. However, lower courts initially disagreed with the NRA's claims, ruling that Vullo's actions amounted to permissible government speech, not unconstitutional coercion. The court said officials are allowed to express their views, even strongly, without crossing the line. The Supreme Court agreed to hear the case to answer a crucial question: when does government encouragement or persuasion become unconstitutional coercion that violates free speech protections? On May 30, 2024, the justices issued a unanimous decision, reversing the lower court's ruling and siding with the NRA on the key legal principle. Writing for the court, Justice Sotomayor explained that while government officials can express their own views and even criticize organizations, they cannot use their official power to punish or suppress speech they disagree with. The line is crossed when government pressure becomes coercion. The ruling clarified that when government officials coerce or threaten private parties to silence a particular speaker or viewpoint, it is a clear violation of the Constitution. This protects not just the NRA, but any group or individual from similar government overreach. The case now returns to the lower court for further proceedings, but the Supreme Court has set a clear standard. Government pressure to suppress speech, even indirectly, crosses a constitutional line and cannot be tolerated. This landmark decision sets a powerful precedent for future cases involving government overreach and the First Amendment, reinforcing the principle that free speech must be protected from undue government influence. The Supreme Court's decision in NRA versus Vullo is a major win for free speech in America, and its impact will be felt far beyond this single case. This ruling sends a powerful message about the boundaries of government power and the fundamental rights of citizens to express their views without fear of retaliation. It makes clear, once and for all, that the government can't do indirectly what it's forbidden to do directly. In other words, officials can't use their influence or authority to pressure others into silencing speech they disagree with, even if they try to hide it behind subtle tactics or unofficial channels. This decision protects not just the NRA, but any group or individual who might be targeted by powerful officials for their beliefs, whether those beliefs are popular or controversial. It's a safeguard for advocacy groups, nonprofits, and everyday citizens who want to speak out on issues that matter to them. The key distinction the court draws is between persuasion and coercion. Government officials are free to express their own opinions and even criticize, but they cross a constitutional line if they threaten consequences or use their power to silence speech. This is a crucial protection in a democracy. The court's new framework looks closely at the language used, the authority of the official, and whether their words or actions could reasonably be seen as threats. This careful analysis helps ensure that free speech isn't chilled by vague or veiled government pressure. As a result, organizations now have a stronger legal footing to challenge government overreach. They can point to this decision as a shield, knowing the courts will scrutinize any attempt by officials to intimidate or punish them for their speech. In today's climate, where officials sometimes pressure companies or social platforms to take sides or suppress certain viewpoints, this ruling serves as a clear warning. Don't cross the line from expressing an opinion to making a threat. The consequences for doing so are now unmistakable. Ultimately, the decision preserves the marketplace of ideas, ensuring that all voices, no matter how different, can be heard and debated. This is the foundation of a healthy democracy, where progress comes from open discussion and the free exchange of ideas. The government's role is not to decide what speech is acceptable, but to protect everyone's right to participate in public discourse, regardless of their viewpoint or background. This principle is at the heart of the First Amendment. The 9-0 decision by the Supreme Court reinforces that principle for all Americans, making it clear that free speech remains a core value of our nation, one that the highest court is committed to upholding for generations to come. The Vullo decision has immediate impact on the media. News organizations often face pressure from officials unhappy with their coverage. The Supreme Court's ruling gives media outlets a powerful shield. Using regulatory authority to intimidate the press is unconstitutional. This ensures journalists can report freely without fear of government reprisal. The legal landscape has changed. Media companies now have a solid foundation to resist pressure. This protection is vital for a healthy democracy and a free flow of information. The Vullo decision also strengthens protections for religious groups. Government cannot penalize organizations for their religious beliefs or missions. Recent cases like Catholic Charities in Wisconsin show officials still try to judge religious expression. Vullo gives faith-based groups a new legal tool to fight back against discriminatory government action. Targeting a group for its identity or beliefs and using power to harm them violates the First Amendment. This protects the vital role of faith-based organizations in society. The Supreme Court's message, religious ministries should be free to operate according to their beliefs. Legal experts across the spectrum have praised the Supreme Court's unanimous decision. The ruling reaffirms that government officials cannot use their power to blacklist or punish protected speech. The 9-0 vote sends a powerful message. Defending free expression transcends politics. The court's new legal test focuses on context, authority, and whether speech could be seen as a threat. This framework will help prevent backdoor censorship in future cases. The decision is timely, addressing modern challenges like government pressure on social media. Vullo sets a precedent that will shape free speech battles for years to come. What does this decision mean for you? It strengthens your right to speak, associate, and hear diverse viewpoints without government interference. The ruling protects all kinds of organizations from unfair targeting by officials. It ensures public debate is shaped by people, not by those in power. The decision also safeguards media independence, so the news you receive isn't influenced by government threats. A free press is essential for holding leaders accountable and keeping the public informed. The ruling empowers citizens and groups to stand up against government overreach. The First Amendment is a shield for all, ensuring even controversial voices can be heard. The Supreme Court has drawn a clear line. Officials cannot use their authority to silence speech they dislike. This ruling is a shield for every American who values freedom of expression, but a court decision alone isn't enough. These principles must be defended in our communities and public discourse. We must remain vigilant against government overreach regardless of our own views. Stay informed, understand your rights, and support organizations that protect civil liberties. Hold officials accountable and insist they respect constitutional boundaries. The freedom of speech is only as strong as our collective will to protect it. The 9-0 decision is a hopeful sign that our institutions can still defend core values. Ultimately, the guardians of liberty are the American people. Our democracy depends on our commitment to uphold these rights for everyone.